Ben Shapiro, The Authoritarian Moment, How the Left Weaponized America's Institutions Against Dissent. In The Authoritarian Moment, Ben Shapiro examines the current state of free speech in America and warns that our fundamental rights are under attack. He exposes how the radical left has infiltrated major institutions, from universities to corporations, pushing their agenda and silencing dissenting voices. The book summary presents critical insights into how wokeism controls higher education, how corporations have become cowards out of fear of cancel culture, and how politics has even seeped into the world of science. As you read the summary, prepare to dive deep into what's causing the rise of authoritarian power in America and what we can do to protect the free flow of ideas.
The dangers to freedom of speech in America. More than 60% of Americans are afraid to speak their minds as censorship and conformity take over American institutions. The truth of the radical left is the only truth, and all ideological dissent must be silenced. Parler, a social media platform that allowed people of all political stances to voice their viewpoints, met its demise, and President Trump was banned from social media. Big Tech, it seems, wants to silence the opposition, and actions like these spell out a frightening future for American democracy. The Wokabulary Takeover. Wokeism has infiltrated American higher education, turning universities into institutions of indoctrination and intolerance. The authoritarian left has silenced diversity of thought through imbalanced faculty ratios, forcing out professors who prioritize merit over race and disagree with their ideology. Students are trained in a new religion hostile to reason and free thinking, infused with a modern vocabulary designed to generate activists for the ruling class of corporate America. Corporate cowardice. American corporations have abandoned their apolitical stance and are now promoting progressive agendas out of cowardice. The fear of cancel culture has forced them to speak the language of the authoritarian left, jeopardizing the livelihood of employees who express dissenting views. The result is a culture of exclusion that ironically arises from diversity and inclusion efforts. Dissenters are silenced in today's woke echo chambers, where speaking your mind can cost you your livelihood. Science and politics collide. In the spring of 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic and a series of protests over the death of George Floyd collided. The author argues that scientists and public health officials were inconsistent in their responses to the protests, as they encouraged the Black Lives Matter demonstrations while denouncing other gatherings due to the risk of spreading the virus. The author asserts that such behavior reveals that the authoritarian left has infiltrated the field of science, subverting its commitment to objective truth in favor of political agendas. This politicization of science, according to the author, is dangerous to public health and undermines the credibility of scientific experts. The timeless lesson of American democracy. The Founding Fathers showed that fighting for freedom means standing up and speaking out. To uphold the democracy they built, modern Americans must do the same. This requires embracing independent thinking, seeking nuance, and listening to logic. It also means rejecting authoritarianism across party lines. Despite the authoritarian left infiltrating major institutions, individuals still have a voice that can shape the future.
Ben Shapiro's The Authoritarian Moment raises alarms about the current state of freedom of speech and plurality of thought in America. The left's authoritarian ideas have taken over major institutions, fostering environments of intolerance and conformity. By examining the stranglehold on higher education, corporate culture, and even science, the book highlights the importance of free thinking and taking a stand against the ideological suppression. As you reflect on the critical takeaways, remember to fight for freedom by standing up and speaking out, looking past partisanship, prioritizing facts over feelings, and acknowledging that true progress can only be achieved through open discourse and preserving the very values that make America a thriving democracy.